You don't actually have a motivation problem. You have a pattern, a quiet one. You wake up and think, today I'll finally be consistent. And for a few hours, you are. You feel clear, focused, capable. Then life happens. A notification, a small inconvenience, a dip in energy, and suddenly your brain whispers a deal. Start again tomorrow. You'll do it properly then. So you agree, not because you're weak, because relief feels logical in the moment. And that moment repeats every day. You don't notice the damage immediately, but every time you postpone effort, you strengthen hesitation. You're not losing time. You're training avoidance. You still want the life. That's why this bothers you. If you truly didn't care, you'd feel nothing. Instead, you feel tension while relaxing. You sit down to rest and can't fully enjoy it. You open your phone, but your mind keeps reminding you you should be doing something else. So you escape harder. More scrolling, more noise, more distraction. Because silence exposes the truth. You're not tired from effort. You're tired from resisting effort. And resistance drains more energy than action ever will. You compare yourself constantly. Not loudly, quietly. Someone your age moves forward. You feel a quick spark. Then immediately, pressure. Your brain calculates distance. How are they already there? And instead of action, you feel heaviness. Because comparison without execution creates paralysis. Now improvement feels huge, so you delay starting small. You wait to feel ready. Ready never comes, because readiness is earned after starting, not before. Here's what actually keeps breaking your consistency. You rely on emotional agreement. Every day you subconsciously vote, do I feel like doing this? If yes, progress. If no, delay. So your future depends on mood swings. That means your goals are controlled by sleep quality, weather, stress, hunger, and random thoughts. No system survives that. Consistency requires behavior independent of emotion. Right now, yours is dependent on it. There's a phase nobody prepares you for. The boring middle. Not the exciting start, not the rewarding result. The stretch where effort feels invisible. You go to the gym, nothing changes. You study, still confused. You work, still small. No feedback, no praise, no validation. So your brain assumes it's pointless and protects you from wasted effort by stopping you. You call it lack of discipline, but it's actually lack of evidence. You quit right before evidence appears. Every time. Picture this. A person decides to fix their life. They don't announce it. They don't post about it. They just pick one habit. Wake up earlier. First day feels powerful. Second day feels respectable. Third day feels inconvenient. Fourth day feels negotiable. By day 5, the mind presents logic. You need proper rest to perform well tomorrow. Sounds responsible. So they stop. A week later, they try again. New surge, same collapse. Not failure, pattern. They keep expecting a different emotional experience, but consistency is emotionally repetitive. It's the same resistance daily. The moment they realized this, everything shifted. They stopped expecting enthusiasm. They expected friction. And because friction arrived exactly on time, they continued. Not motivated, prepared. Consistency doesn't come from intensity. It comes from predictability. Right now, your behavior is reaction-based. Good mood equals action. Bad mood equals delay. You're not building habits. You're performing when convenient. That feels productive short-term, but it destroys trust long-term. Your brain learned your commitments are flexible, so it stops taking them seriously. That's why your plans feel temporary even to you. Hard truth. You don't believe your own schedule. You believe your feelings more. So every alarm becomes a suggestion. Every plan becomes optional. And optional behaviors never shape identity. You're waiting to become disciplined, but discipline starts the moment negotiation ends. You think successful people love the process. Most don't. They just remove the question. They don't ask, do I want to? They ask, when is it scheduled? Decision already made yesterday. Execution today. No debate. Your energy is drained by deciding repeatedly, not by doing repeatedly. Your mind fears wasted effort. So it delays until certainty. But certainty only appears after repetition. Meaning you're stuck in a loop. You won't act without proof. Proof won't appear without action. The escape is tiny commitment. Small enough your brain stops resisting. Big enough to keep identity alive. You don't need a perfect day. You need a preserved chain. Never break twice. Miss once? Fine. Miss twice? Pattern begins. The goal isn't heroic performance, it's uninterrupted return. Because consistency is not streak perfection. It's recovery speed. From now on, bad day, minimum version. No energy, short version. No focus, ugly version. But still a version. You are no longer allowed zero. Zero resets identity. Small maintains it. Listen carefully. Your life doesn't change when you feel powerful. It changes when action survives low emotion. Anyone can perform inspired. Very few perform neutral. That's the separating skill. Neutral execution. No hype, no anger, no dramatic speeches. Just behavior continuing through ordinary moods. You've been chasing intensity, but intensity burns out. Stability compounds. You don't need to win the day. You need to remove the option to disappear from it. Show up unimpressively, daily, and something strange happens. The task stops feeling heavy because your brain stops evaluating it. It becomes background behavior, like brushing teeth, no motivation required. That's when consistency finally exists. You're not behind. You're untrained in repetition. Different problem. Solvable one. Your timeline isn't blocked by lack of talent. It's delayed by emotional decision-making. Replace emotional decisions with scheduled ones. Progress becomes boringly inevitable. So here's the new rule set. You act at the time, not the mood. You reduce the size, not the frequency. You return immediately, not next week. You track attendance, not outcomes. You protect identity, not ego. Read that again internally. Because this is where change stops being exciting and starts being real. One day soon you'll notice you didn't feel motivated. You didn't feel confident. You didn't even feel productive, but you still showed up. And that day will feel small, almost forgettable. Yet that's the day your future changed. Because you proved to yourself your behavior isn't controlled by emotion anymore. It's controlled by decision. You don't need a new plan tonight. You need a fixed response tomorrow morning. No thinking, no speeches, just movement. And the day after that, repeat, then repeat again, until consistency stops being something you try and becomes something you do without discussion. Stay with the process long enough, and the person you wanted to become won't arrive dramatically. They'll appear quietly, in the middle of an ordinary day. When you realize you didn't need motivation anymore, you just needed to stop leaving.